St. Michael and All Angels Episcopal Church. Here in this holy place, Christ is proclaimed, the love of God is known, and the Spirit whispers, peace. Our doors are open and welcome, and our walls enfold a family, born of a common faith and bound together in fellowship. In this house of prayer there is meaning and purpose, while even beyond our shores we are the hands and feet of Jesus. Come along on a visual journey. Let us draw closer to the significance of servanthood, as a few of our 38 ministries are revealed. Witness these treasured traditions of service and feel the infectious passions that mark the present. Yet we must go forward, for the time is drawing near to unleash new visions and expand our current mission. That path includes you and me, for our mutual commitments will crown the future. In growth and renewal, we shall find that our finest hours lie ahead.
St. Michael's is bucking all the trends in the Episcopal Church. We are not graying. We have young people here. We have young adults, which is really bucking the trend. 20-somethings, 30-somethings, active. We have children. We're a very diverse congregation, and we continue to grow a little bit every year. For all of the things that are going on in mainline Protestant Christianity, for some reason, God is using us as an icon of hope, and I think that's a lot to be entrusted with, but I think it's also the thing that keeps drawing us forward. People who came before us have been enormously generous. They provided us with this incredible resource for ministry, this building, this amazing history of worship and music, children who have been raised up through the church and are now bringing their children back. And if someone's been generous, I think our response needs to be gratitude. So if we think of this as a fertile field that has been seeded with generosity, then the harvest is gratitude.
The breakfast at St. Paul's program is every Saturday without fail. And we serve a very large breakfast to between 150 and 250 people. After we have cooked all this food and set up the parish hall, is we take a little break and have a service. And it's just kind of bring us more calm us down from the busyness of getting ready and remind us of why we're there. That we're there to do God's work. It's not just a social activity.
The main ministry that I'm involved in right now is I'm the head of the St. Michael's prayer chain. It's a group of, it's kind of a behind the scene group of about 100 people that daily pray for those in need within the parish, or friends of the parish, or people in the military, or people traveling, those that have departed, all different issues. But I get names emailed to me from all different sources, and I kind of coordinate and send out prayer requests to the people on the chain.
St. Michael's is a place where we not only support God's children here in our own backyard, but we really do it, in this case, all around the world. I first learned about the Haiti ministry actually talking to some other parishioners who had been involved with the ministry. They had traveled to Haiti before. The important thing that people need to understand about the Haiti ministry is that it started over 30 years ago. And it was started by a parishioner by the name of Don Downing, who is still very active in the Haiti ministry, and a number of other parishioners jumped on board with him. And at that time, they really didn't know what we were going to do in Haiti. They started in a small town in the southern part of the country and developed a grade school there that had maybe a dozen or so students in it that first year, almost 30 years ago. Today we educate over 200 kindergarten through sixth graders at St. Paul's School in Torbec, Haiti. And the fact that we have that legacy over those many years, to me, is really unique, and it makes the Haiti ministry certainly one of my favorites at St. Michael's, and one that I've chosen to be really involved with.
The music program has really kept me here every Sunday. When I was in school, I sang while I was at KU, and I would come home and sing over the breaks. And then when I got out of school, I still wanted to keep singing, so church was the natural place to do it. So I think, like a lot of people when they're in their early 20s and they're not going to church, I did it because of the music. We're not just here to make great music, we're here to make an offering to God. There's a great hymn in the hymnal about music, and one of the verses is, "How often making music we have found a new dimension in the world of sound, as music moves us to a more profound Alleluia." And I think that is what makes the music ministry special here at St. Michael's.
Nothing is better than seeing a young boy or young girl start out in the Acolyte program as a second torch. They graduate to first torch, then they become crucifer, then they become MC or Master of Ceremonies. And what's so wonderful is to see this, for example, this itty bitty little boy in 7th grade, and now he's a foot taller than me as a senior in high school, and he is shepherding, leading, mentoring, teaching another little bitty 7th grader.
Children and youth ministries is important because that is the age where faith is most easily developed and the most easily received. The kids are much more willing to accept the tenets of faith in younger ages. They respond much better to mentoring situations, to having someone in a different generation, different age group, be able to share with them their spiritual walk and the way that God works in their life is something that is very receptive to children and youth. I'd like to see us to be a little bit more intentional at meeting kids where they are instead of just trying to blanket provide something to meet the needs of many.
When you are investing in the youth program, when you show up to support a youth fundraiser, when you pull out the checkbook and you write a check that's going to support having youth ministry and providing scholarships for other kids to join us in the wonderful things that happen in the diocese, those are your kids. And the thing I would like to see is among those teenagers, they turn around and look at the adults and go, those are my parents. I say, I came from a very sort of low church, evangelical, charismatic kind of parish in South Carolina. Went to a very high church seminary at Nashotah House. Came to this wonderful parish that is neither of those, but has that expressed in various ways. We have a very diverse bunch of people here, which told me from the very beginning that, this is the kind of place that a diversity of people can find home, because it isn't one thing or the other. It really is this wonderful mix of a number of traditions that are expressed in various ways in worship and small group, and the Christian formation we do really represents sort of the broad blessing of the Episcopal Church. One of the really strong things about this parish is really its openness, its willingness to embrace others, and to recognize that believing begins with belonging. And there's a lot of work that goes on here to help people feel like they can belong here and they're welcome in and they're welcome in participating in the life of the community. And there's no initial kind of, or even later, some sense of a litmus test. And these are the things that you have to believe. We hold up things as the beliefs of the church, but then we encourage everybody in their own individual sort of spiritual journey to figure out, what does that faith of the church mean for me?
Our real challenge with stewardship is that we forget to tap into our gratitude. And I think we're not doing a good enough job at teaching people to tap into a deep sense of gratitude. Ultimately, stewardship is just about resources, and it's about resources for mission. What do we have to do? What do we have to use for all those things that God's entrusting to us? I take that trust God has placed in this congregation as a huge responsibility, and we can't just look away from that.
I've had a dear bishop tell me that, there are only two things that happen in the church. There is no such thing as maintaining the church. You're either going forward and you're growing, or you're dying. Really, when you think about giving, this is God's house, and it is a gift that's been given to us, put in our hands, to ensure that it is a gift that's passed on to the next generation.
There's something about when you get together with other folks and you're doing God's work, there is a joy there that it's hard to describe.
I came to St. Michael's, and the moment I walked up those stairs, I felt like I was being hugged. And, everyone was so nice, they were so welcoming, so warm, and it sparked an interest in me.
St. Michael's means a place that I can get in touch with myself, sometimes in a non-intellectual level. St. Michael's means a place that I can come Sunday after Sunday. Some Sundays I don't want to be here. What I love about the commitment of being part of the music program is there are some Sundays where you just don't feel like getting up and going to church, but because of the commitment of being in the choir, you go. And I found that sometimes those are the Sundays where God knocks you upside the head and touches you in a way that you never anticipated. And there's also part of the service when the clergy recesses out and we do the bidding at the end of the service, and it's a reminder that we're called to come here each Sunday so that we can turn around and go out the door and do the work of God's work in the world. And I think that's why St. Michael's means so much to me. Because if you're not going to get that here, where are you going to get that?
The community that we share here at St. Michael's is something that's maybe lacking in our society, and I think the strength and the just community that you derive from having a place like St. Michael's is, you just can't put a value on it. It's just touched my life beyond measure.
Feel encouraged and courageous enough to dream the big dream. If God can give us the inspiration for that, then we should be able to come up with the resources to make those things happen.
Our forebears shared a commitment to bring this church and its message into being. We celebrate 6 decades of splendor, fashioned by love and the sacrifice of all those who prayed, provided, and participated. No magic sustains St. Michael's, just hearts and minds responding in gratitude with gifts wonderfully and freely given. This parish is alive with hope and possibility to perpetuate our sacred trust and fulfill our financial obligations. There is a hymn that trumpets the power of collective strength. It reads, "No arm so weak, but may do service here. That arm is yours, that arm is mine, and linked together we will form a rising tide, answering the call to honor Christ and be a blessing to others." Please join us on our journey. It begins here, in this place where God's glory abides. We call it home.